ஓகேப்பா.
Sir, Chairman, sir, good morning, sir.
Sir, very good morning, sir. Very good morning to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Dr. V. Haribabu and Kamalaveni madam.
Good morning, sir.
Good
morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Morning, sir. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, madam. Very good morning, madam. Very good morning.
Bye. Hello.
Sir, நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாமா சார்? Shall we start?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. If all the coordinators are ready, please we'll start, sir.
Yes, sir. From our side, we are ready. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, we'll start, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
A very good morning to all present here. With extreme privilege, I welcome you all for the 100 horse IEI TNSC Techno Carnival. The Institution of Engineers is the largest multidisciplinary professional body of engineers established in 1920 with its headquarters located in Kolkata and incorporated under Royal Charter on 9th September 1935. By then, His King Majesty of King George V, the Royal Charter endowed the institution with the responsibility to promote the general advancement of engineering amongst its members and persons attached to the institution. After independence, the institution is a body corporate protected under Article 372 of the Constitution of India. The Institution of Engineers is administered by a national council with the president or as its head. The Tamil Nadu State Center was established originally as a Southern India Center at Chennai on 22nd December 1922. The southern region covered the erstwhile Madras, Andhra, Mysore, Hyderabad, and Travancore, Cochin. As more centers were opened in the southern region, it was renamed as Madras Center and later became the Tamil Nadu State Center. Tamil Nadu State Center has a special significance in the formation of the institution, for the IEI was registered in 1920 in then Madras province at Chennai. The registered office was subsequently moved to Calcutta, the headquarters of IEI. To celebrate 100 years of IEI TNSC, a 100 hours techno carnival is organized. A mega carnival structured with one theme, 100 hours, 100 topics, 100 speakers with the participation of 100 organizations. Out of these 100 hours, today, the first day event with the title AI Entrepreneur and Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare, which is organized by IEI Salem local chapter along with partnering institution Sengundar Engineering College, Trichandur, and Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. Now, I kindly request Engineer S.R. Saravanan, Sir, FIE Chairman, IEI Salem Local Centers, Salem, to welcome the August gathering.
Thank you, madam. And respected guests of today's program, Dr. V. Haribabu and Madam Dr. K. Kalaivani, respected members of the organizing committee, Dr. Kumarvil, Dr. Sarish Kumar, Engineer Kaniyan Kundan sir, Dr. Daumani, Dr. Tangaraju, other program coordinators, organizing partners, organizers from TNSC, other volunteers from Sengundar College and Sona College of Technology, my dear participants, a very good morning to all of you. Today we all have gathered here to celebrate the event, a grand event organized by our IEI Tamil Nadu State Center in view of their centenary celebrations, namely 100 hours IEI TNSC Techno Carnival. We are also from IEI Salem Local Center are highly proud to celebrate this event in association with IEI Tamil Nadu State Center. On the theme, sustainable development of the nation, the role of engineers. With an aim to set a world record by conducting a series of programs in association with all local centers of IEI Tamil Nadu. Purposely for this grand event, a dedicated committee was formed by IEI Tamil Nadu State Center with Dr. Bodaraja sir, the past president of IEI Calcutta, and Dr. Ramadas, chairman of State Center, Honorary Secretary, and many more volunteers like Dr. V. Kumar, etc. The program is successfully conducted, being conducted by all the various centers, and today it is possible for us also from the side of IAS Development Center. We also formed a committee purposely for this with Dr. Kumarvel as the convener and other seniors, as I told a little earlier. And I should appreciate them for a wonderful job done by them. Actually, particularly from my side, I left them autonomously. They have made it possible that the program has been started in a well manner, and similarly, as a part of the first spell, tomorrow also there is going to be such a program, and similarly in the first week of September also. I thank them for their successful cooperation for this program. And on behalf of all of you, I welcome our guests of today's program, Dr. V. Haribabu, Associate Faculty from Entrepreneurship Development Institute, Ahmedabad, and Dr. Kalaivani, Assistant Professor, CSE from Wells Institute of Chennai. Welcome, sir, and welcome you, madam. And from the committee and on behalf of the committee of IEA Salem, as well as this particular committee, I welcome all the participants. I thank the coordinators from IEA, state program organizers, and I welcome all the participants. I conclude my welcome address, thanking all the coordinators and the participants. Again, I request all the participants to actively participate in the program, get benefited, and make the program to succeed in a grand manner. From my side also, I wish the program a grand success. Welcome you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I call upon E. Shivarubini, Assistant Professor, Sengodar Engineering College, to give a brief introduction about the chief guest, Dr. V. Haribabu, sir, Associate Faculty, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Ahmedabad.
Good morning to all joined here. I feel immense pleasure in introducing Dr. V. Haribabu, sir, Associate Faculty in Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Department of Policy Advocacy, Knowledge and Research, Ahmedabad.
Better communication skills,
program,
which is the key to
the department
success.
listening as
Today, this program has
one among the
rendered us
foster
a
communication
chance
skills,
to
which
listen
is the key.
Today, this program has rendered us a chance to listen to a remarkable legend, Dr. V. Haribabu. He completed his BE in Computer Science and Engineering at St. Joseph College of Engineering, Chennai. He did his Master of Technology in Software Engineering at SRM University, Chennai. Then he obtained his PhD in Wales Institute of Science and Technology and Advanced Studies, Chennai. He is having 12 plus years of experience in the educational field. He has spent better part of his working career in highly reputed organizations like SRM University, Wales University, CSIR, CLRI Chennai. He has delivered many talks which speaks volume about him. He has possessed many remarkable roles in renowned university, SRM and Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. His thirst in his field made him to publish nearly 15 national and international journals, and he has published more than 12 papers in national and international conferences. Besides, he has attended n number of workshops, seminars, and conferences. He has been occupied several renowned membership of professional bodies like Fellow Institution of Public Health Engineers, India, Animal Member Institution of Engineering and Technology, Life Member Indian Science Congress Association. He is expert in the field of business analytics and intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and entrepreneurship. His expertise made him to publish patents entitled A Parking Assist System and a system for identification of a suspect and a method thereof. His excellence lead him to receive awards such as certified as Innovation Ambassador on Design Thinking and Innovation from IIC, Minister of Education, Government of India. Certified as Innovation Ambassador, Advanced Level on Design Thinking and Innovation from IIC, Ministry of Education, Government of India. Awarded by TCS as a best project entitled A Parking Assist System for the academic year 2016 to 2017. He has successfully completed the government research project entitled Impact Assessment Study of Direct Reform Assistance provided to Cardi Institution and scope of further assistance to the other non-Rakis, Statue of Unity, SOU, Ekta Nagar study on tourist profile, preferences, spend and intentions. A study on street vendors business financing with special reference to Government of India's Swaniti Yojana, PM Street Vendors Atma Nirbhar Niti, and the project entitled Skill Gap Study in and around selected tourist places at Madhya Pradesh, and Baseline Survey on Safe Women Tourist Places at Madhya Pradesh are under progress. We are ready for a feast to be devoured, and let us sharpen our ears to hear his ideas. Thank you.
Our chief guest profile really speaks volumes about him. We are really happy to have you as a chief guest for this program. Now, I request the chief guest, Dr. V. Haribabu sir, Associate Faculty, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Ahmedabad, to share his insights about the title AI Entrepreneur.
For inviting me for this session. I'd like to congratulate all the team, organizing team, Institute of for this development. And the topic was very because nowadays 15 one stated development focusing to 2030 to reach 20. So I think this is the right time to cover this topic, sustainable development. So after you want that development is to development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So which means that without affecting today's environmental, how to develop a sustainable model for the futures. So which is not mean that we are sacrificing our sophisticated level. With that sophisticated level, how we are going to achieve the self-sustainable model in future. So with this overall view about what is self-sustainable, so in terms of technology, how this self-sustainable is giving a very impact is, so when you create any model, so for example, if you're starting a startup, so at 2 years of time, the startup, we should not fund into that company. So it should be self-sustained. So managing all its input, managing all its revenue model, all this will be the key factor for self-sustainable. So with this, I'm starting my presentation. So today, so I'll be covering up a few topics of what is the role of AI in self-sustainable environment and infrastructure that is available for artificial intelligence in self-sustainable. And then how entrepreneurs can get benefited using this AI technology. So this is my of today's presentation. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So artificial intelligence for entrepreneurs. So how technology can accelerate self-sustainable goals. So if you see, we are in the current era of digital conversation. So the technology plays a very crucial role in our day-to-day life. So with that means we have a lot of technological development happening a day-to-day on day-to-day basis. So based on that, so there are different domain experts are there who can focus on the day-to-day activity and develop a technology towards that. So in that context, so how sustainability can be achieved is there is two major technology which we are now focusing is artificial intelligence and with combination of IoT. So these two are the major technologies which supports the entire infrastructure to be self-sustained. So how this happen, how this self-sustainable technology will happen is, so we are creating a multiple applications to solve our day-to-day life. So with that, how we are collecting that data is means of sensors. So when you deploy any sensor on the field, then that environment will become Internet of Things. That is nothing but IoT. So without only the data which is collected is not processed properly, then there is no meaning of keeping sensor on the field. So combinations of both artificial intelligence and data collected from sensor will do data processing and give very good meaningful information to take a decision. So this entire infrastructure will help things to do self-sustainable model. So this is the 17th goal proposed by UN on self-sustainable models. So we will see one small example how this 17 goals being attained using technology, which is known as artificial intelligence or machine learning or Internet of Things or cloud computing or any platform you take. So this is the 17 goals. So first one is no poverty. So all this 17 goals are addressed to be achieved in 2030 as per UN statistics. So so the first is no poverty, and then health, education, and clean water, affordable clean energy, and industry required inequalities. Inequality is a major concern now for developing countries and sustainable cities and communities. So these are few which I've listed here among 17. So now we will see an example how this self-sustainable AI model will work in smart cities. As you are aware that we are moving into era of smart city concept, and it has been implemented in a few places in Tamil Nadu as well, in Coimbatore and Chennai. So what we are going to do? So now we are making our environment IoT based environment, like parking system. You can book your parking slot before you reaching that parking place, so that you will be hassle free to park your car. And EV charging station is not upcoming environment. So we will collect all this data. So now at present, all this data are placed in a different entity. So in future, there is a scope of connecting all this data into one single architecture. So I'll tell you how that will happen. So we are collecting data from traffic management. So we know the people mobility towards that place. So we can have that data and we can give that data to corporation where they can provide water, or we can give that data to garbage collection department, so that they'll place that garbage particles there in the garbage collectors in that particular region where the people mobilities are higher place. So with help of that single data, we can connect with different environments. So let's say we are collecting data from EV charging station. So when data is collected, so for example, now the EV charging slot is free. With help of traffic management data input, we can assign that particular EV vehicle to take get charged in that particular station, and it will be automized. So now we are completely automizing different entities of smart city into one single infrastructure. So that is known as self-sustainable AI models. Right now, all entities are in different angles. So we are working towards to connect all different entities into one single architecture format to become a self-sustainable model. So already the research has been started, and people are working towards collecting data from different entity and making it a common platform. So as I stated in my previous slide, so the technology which we majorly focus is artificial intelligence and IoT. So to play all this, now we come up with new technology called cloud computing. So because all this can be achieved with help of cloud computing only, because the data will be stored online, the analytics will be performed online. So the immediate decision can be taken from that data which we process. So this is the infrastructure now that is available for self-sustainable AI models for smart city. When you take any industries, let's say if you take food processing industries, how that food processing industries is now working is it is fully automated, because now we are in era of industry 4.0. So industry 4.0 will achieve the entire automation process. Now what we started industry automation like with few works, now completely industry is automated, and they have that data of what to be produced, what to be the number to be into the production unit, and then what is the sales. So previously what we do, for example, if you take any food processing industries, any packaging food, they will generate per day 1,000 packets or 10,000 packets. So that will be kept in the stock. So now the industry has been changed. They will see what is the sales, and based on the sales data, they will make an automation system that produce X, Y, Z product, 100 for this day, 200 for next day. So they don't keep a stock in their industry. So this is where this industry 4.0 is helping the business to grow without any wastages. And these are the infrastructures available. And we are having very myth that AI is a new technology where we cannot adopt it. So that is not true, because when you see this Google spam is nothing but a machine learning algorithm that will detect your mail, which is spam. So this has been implemented in 2006. So the Google started adapting AI model in 2006. So AI model is not a new one. And if you see the The next example is translation from one language to other language. So this is also natural NLP. So NLP has been implemented in 2009 by Google. And if you take the next example is voice to text. So this voice to text also, the API is already available on the market from 2010. So the people started using AI model very long back. And the other example is self-driven cars. So self-driven cars also came up with a model in 2009. And image processing. So these are the AI techniques which is already available in the market for quite long period. Now this model gets popularized because of the data which we are collecting day to day. Because now we are in the era of big data technology, because we are generating every data. So if you say, if you take the smartwatch is capturing all my ECG signal, how much steps I have done, what are the next my effort to complete my step count, and all this. This AI model is collecting data and giving data to the machine. So the data processing and data analyzing helps our day-to-day activity into the next level. So next is what are the 10 challenges for AI implementation and development? So nowadays I have gone through a lot of startups, mentoring them. So they are coming up with the solution that I'm going to build that product in AI and all this. So where they are making the mistakes is if they are following this standard process, all this startup will success in their business plan. So the first challenge what they are facing is determining the right data set. So which is very important for any AI to get trained, because the AI will get trained in with the data which we are providing to that model. It acquires knowledge from that data. Based on that, it is going to give your decision. So if you are not placing a right data, then the AI model will not support you to give the whatever your expectation. And next is bias problem. So this is very important problem which we are facing nowadays is, let's say we have 10,000 of records of data with us, which is of bank clients. So what is that bias problem is, like they have all the data which is 90% of male and 10% of female, or reverse of it. So these kinds of data will be on biased angle. So when you are doing any cross-sectional analysis, so you cannot have a very good model that predict women or that predict men. So gender based. So this is very simple example for bias problem. Or the age-wise data is not distributed properly. So these will affect our AI model to give you a better decisions. And next is data security and storage. So data security is very important for future. So, and storage is also, because we have millions of records with us to develop a good AI model, and storing them in the either in the server or in the cloud. So that will be, we should ensure that our data is being stored securely. And now there are a lot of startups, lot of entrepreneurs are focusing towards this data security, and they are releasing a lot of APIs on the open cloud platform. So we can just have those plugins and add security to our data. So next is infrastructure. So infrastructure is an because AI has big data on their field, and the decisions are taken simultaneously without having any delay in that model. So the proper infrastructure to be needed for handling big data as well as decision support systems and AI integration computations. So as industry is going very fast and technology is moving very fast, so the integration component is also very critical, because now we are using a few packages like PyTorch. This is for AI. When we are not getting updated ourselves with the current technology, then we will not be withstand in the market. So when you are using any platform to develop your AI model, we should be update that model every often, so that we will be on the platform of the current trends. And next is niche skill set. So this is very important aspect to select the team. So mostly all the startups, all entrepreneurs come up with a plan that they'll pick their team from the friend circle or family circle, which is not advisable for them to take that step, because when you're selecting your team, you should have proper skill set of domain as well as proper skill set for your developing an application. These two combinations will work to give a best product. So with help, with only of domain knowledge, or with help, with only of developing an AI model will not solve the problem. And next is expense and rare. So the entire infrastructure is very expensive, so that many startups face problem in their investment part, because the infrastructure for handling the data and hosting on the cloud, all this makes a very expensive model for startups. And the legal issues and explainability. So the final is explainability. So where now a lot of research is happening on explainable AI. So what is explainable AI is, so recently we developed a model for Philippine bank. So we have developed an application, AI application, to predict the credit score of their customers. So initially we developed the model and we gave that model to the bank, and they come up with the query that, so I have entered my client details. It is predicting that whether he is a good credit or bad credit. So we are fine with that. So what they need is, so they want if I alter their data so that it can be moved from good credit to bad credit. For example, if I give that this person value of income from 50,000 to, if I raise it to 60,000, so what will happen, whether it will change into the next class, that is good credit to bad credit. So in this case, the AI models which we are working on the past will not have that support system to tell how that every individual variable is working to is giving very close to the prediction model. So now they came up with explainable AI. So explainable AI will tell you the mean value of every variable. How that mean, so if you are very close to that mean value, if you are on the upper side, it will be on one class. If you are on the lower side, it will be on another class. So this is one simple technique of explainable AI. So with that model, we developed an application so that if they want to change their input so that the customer will fall on the different category, so that can be achieved using explainable AI. So previously we don't have that feature in artificial intelligence. That was recently a lot of research and development is happening in explainable AI. And the next is, so these are the few stats that about AI startups. So as per OECD report, so in 2012, there are 3 billion people, 3 billion was invested on the AI startup, where in 2020, 75 billion were invested in AI startups. So it means that we have a very good market for artificial intelligence to grow in the global market. And as per Accenture report, so AI technology can increase the business productivity by 40%. So, and as per Forbes, the number of AI startups since 2000 has been magnified into 14 times to the present. And AI will automate 60% of American jobs, as the Forrester report says. And 15% of entrepreneurs are using AI, and 31% of them says that this is their agenda for the next 12 months. So this is the Adobe's report says that. So all big IT firms are now adapting, are now changing their focus towards artificial intelligence platform. And this stats clearly shows that we can step into a lot of startups have a good play in the AI business market. So what are the 10 rules that entrepreneurs need to focus before they are adopting an AI or before they are starting their venture in AI? So first, they should understand the business problem as much as important as your algorithm. So many startups nowadays, they are focusing on the algorithm and they are coming up with the plan that I have this model on my hands. Whether that model is addressing the business problem. So nowadays, when you explain any clients, they will see that whether it is addressing my problem on the day-to-day activity. If it is burden for their operation, they don't accept the product. So we should be very clear that we should address their business problem and solve their business problem, and it should be hassle-free for them to take it on board on their day-to-day activities. And next thing is the market ready to support your solution? So if that factor is addressed, whether let's say if you are predicting your customer behavior pattern and you are finding what is the purchase behavior of a customer, if this kind of solution, if you are addressing to the client, they will ready to take that solution. If you are not addressing any of the market ready solution, they are not into invest on the company. And next is develop your data strategy from day one. So because we are handling a large number of data in our enterprise, so we should be creating an architecture that supports for handling a large number of data sets. So many startups are coming up with a sample of 10,000, 20,000 and keeping that as a base model, and they are creating an architecture. So that is not an advisable or good design of data management. So their architecture should support to handle large number of data sets at a time, so that they'll have a very good AI model. And even your AI is brilliant, your product still needs great user experience, and it should be proper workflow and robust reporting. So the problem with the skill set is the people who has domain experts of artificial intelligence were lagging with the front end, because they are more into the coding part of developing an AI, where they lose their confidence on the developing the front end part. So the proper skill set to be hired on this aspect, and proper user experience front end to be designed, so that this AI model can be presented in a different angle. And AI can be magical, but sales still wins. So we can claim that I'm making all this automation process and all this, but at end of the day, your sales will speak whether your success in the market. It doesn't matter what magicals you do, but sales is a very important aspect for any startup. And next is be careful about your first AI first messaging in the marketing. So we should do a proper marketing strategy to sell your product, because that first impression what you are making on the industry will remain last for you to sell your market. And avoid science project trap. What is minimum viable algorithm you can make, that is very important, because the people have started with coming up with small science projects. For example, in terms of agriculture industry, they are coming up with a small toy kind of bot that will solve the problem, because that will not surely solve the problem, because when you take that toy bot on the field, it has a lot of complexity, because the surface is different and the internet connectivity will not be available on the field. So how this toy bot will become a minimum viable product or minimum viable algorithm, which is not be achievable. So you should, the entrepreneur should think which easily achievable product on the field with addressing minimum requirement on their MVP plan. And next is manage customers over and under expectation, because if you state the word artificial intelligence, the people get over expectation, or they don't understand what is AI. So we should be very clear that what will be the outcome of our product which we are going to develop, or AI model which we are going to develop, because that will speak your product. And hire both tech and domain experts for the industry. So that is very important feature, that you need to have domain experts. For example, if you are working on healthcare, you should keep on board on the doctor on your board, because as a techie guy, you can develop any model, but that problem should support for the field experts. So keeping tech and domain expert on the board, which will help to fine tune your problem properly and come up with a good product. Next is organizational shift and towards more open and experimental cultures. So we need to do a lot of research on the model which we are doing, and we need to experience unseen data structures, and that helps to make a good AI model. And this is the stat shows that top 100 AI in 2022. These are the top 100 startups in AI 22, which is available on the globally. So you can see AI is supporting in all different fields, starting from manufacturing, warehouse automation, sales and contact, search, cyber security, customer feedback analysis, location analysis, and business intelligence, and IT DevOps. And next is industry specific also. They are very working towards that, like finance and insurance, retail, and healthcare, telecom, aerospace, defense, and government and agriculture, construction. And they are developing a tools which supports for hardware, AI chips, data annotation, synthetic data, data quality, model validation and monitoring, ML platform, and machine learning deployment, and resource optimization. So if you can see that AI is playing in all fields. It is not very specific to a particular field, and it is serving the problem of day-to-day activity. So, and this is another stat which shows that what is the private investment in every domain. So why I kept this slide is, like, if you are planning to start a startup on AI, so you can focus on these top 10 priority platform areas, so that the people have started investing on those fields, and you can easily find VCs to get funding for your startup. So like data management, cloud infrastructure, and medical and healthcare, and fintech, industry automation, retail, NLP, customer supports, and energy and oil and gas, cybersecurity, drones. Now drones, most of the startups have come up with problem solving in the field using drones, and marketing and digital ads, HR. These are the fields where most of the investment now, all VCs are focusing on the domain. So with this, I'm completing my session. If you have any questions, we can have at the end of the session.
With gratitude, thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable information among us. It's an informative session, sir. Kind attention to every participant. After completing the second session, we have a question and answer session. So we request you all to stay in this session. Followed by, we call upon Mrs. P. Satya, Assistant Professor, Secondary Engineering College, to introduce the guest speaker, Dr. K. Kalaivani ma'am, Assistant Professor from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies, Chennai, to the gathering.
Good afternoon to all. I'm really happy to take the opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Dr. K. Kalaivani, Assistant Professor and Head in Charge, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies, Chennai. She completed her BE Computer Science and Engineering from VIT Vellore, ME Computer Science and Engineering from Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies. She received a gold medal for being the topper in ME Computer Science and Engineering. And she did her PhD from VIT Chennai. She has undergone an international internship in Malaysia Perlis University, Malaysia in April 2015. She received Appreciation Award continuously from the year 2015 from Vistas and also received Women Empowerment Award, Young Educator and Researcher Award from external agencies. She received a grant of ₹10 lakhs from AICTE RPS for project titled IoT-based Intelligent Networking System. She has also completed a seed grant project on RoboSect online entrance examination funded by Vistas. She has published 5 patents. She has presented a paper in the international conference organized in Siam University, Thailand. She has published around 35 articles, including SCI and Scopus indexed journals, and 10 articles in UGC journals. She has presented around 25 articles in national and international conferences. She is having around 13 years of experience in teaching for engineering and science students in VIT Vellore, Sri Sastha Institute of Technology and Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies. Her research interests include image processing, remote sensing, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. She has more accuracy in her domain is reflected through her teaching, in which she is a technocrat. She has received certifications from Coursera and NPTEL for the successful completion of various courses like machine learning, programming in Python, IoT and embedded systems and database management systems. She has completed the course of Re-Engineering Teaching Skills conducted by the Center for Faculty Development, College of Engineering, Guindy. She is an active member in professional bodies such as CSI and IAENG. It's our immense pleasure to have you today as our guest speaker and shower your support and rendering your valuable ideas, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon to everyone in this online forum. I want everyone to be active for another half an hour. And it's my privilege to be a part of this webinar series on the role of engineers in sustainable development. I thank the Institution of Engineers, Salem Local Center, and in particular, Dr. Satish Kumar for giving me this opportunity. In this session, we'll see the role of artificial intelligence in healthcare. In today's world, technology is growing very fast and we are getting in touch with different new technologies day by day. As Dr. Haribabu stated, sustainability is meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So, however, it actually refers to four distinct areas: human, social, economic, and environmental. The Sustainable Development Goals are a collection of 17 interlinked goals designed to be shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. The Sustainable Development Goals were set up in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by 2030. The alliance between artificial intelligence and sustainable development is very seamless. Artificial intelligence is proven to contribute sustainable development by helping to predict errors and plan sustainable development goals more effectively. According to a study published in Nature, it is found that AI could help to achieve 79% of the sustainable development goals. And I want everyone to be active and let us have this session more interactive. Participants, kindly go to the slido.com in any browser and enter the code, whatever you see in the PowerPoint slide. Dear participant, just go to slido.com in any browser and enter the code. We'll make this active for few seconds. I request participants to use the slido.com URL to post your stream of engineering. To post your stream of engineering, in which department you belong to. Kindly post your stream of engineering. There is a relevance. Yes, very good. CSE, ECE, chemical. Yes. Others? Very good. Information technology, industrial safety engineering. Yes. Okay. So, see here, you have just posted with various disciplines. Yes, artificial intelligence is a term sounds to be known by the people across disciplines, and AI plays a major role in various disciplines. So artificial intelligence is one of the booming technology which is ready to create a new revolution in the world by making intelligent machines. It is a term coined by John McCarthy in 1950s. So as sir said, it is not new. Artificial intelligence is not new. The term artificial intelligence was coined in 1915 by John McCarthy. So artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like a human and mimic their actions. So the ideal characteristics of artificial intelligence is the ability to rationalize and take actions that have the best chance of achieving a specific goal. It is actually, there are two things, machine learning and deep learning, which are the subsets of artificial intelligence, which plays a major role. What is this? Machine learning refers to the concept that computer programs can automatically learn from and adapt to new data without being assisted by humans. Deep learning techniques enable this automatic learning through the absorption of huge amounts of unstructured data. What are the different kinds of data which we'll get from the, see, like nowadays, no, AI is everywhere. AI is everywhere. AI is in your hand. You are using a mobile phone. You are searching everything in Google. As soon as you type a word, the next suggestions are coming out. It is an AI, right? So AI is everywhere and AI is with us in our day-to-day life. And how it works actually, like various types of data is given by the users. Like some users will give the data as text, some will give us images, and some will give us video. So all this huge amount of unstructured data are analyzed and predicted. So using this technologies, artificial intelligence, no, it is it is actually will develop applications majorly using machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. Using these technologies, computer can be trained to accomplish specific tasks by processing large amount of data and recognizing patterns in the data. Okay, so how we are going to do that? So what are all the, I can see like there are students from CSE background, and there are from medical electronics and other branches. So how we are going to design an AI application? What are the programming languages which supports the AI applications? Like you might have learned about C++. Every student in their initial career, in the first year of computer science, in the first year of engineering, they will learn C, C++, and Python is used Python is learned by almost all disciplines nowadays. Now see, these are all the different programming languages which supports to develop an AI application. Okay, Python, Java, R, then C++, Prolog, Lisp. Lisp is the first one, like where John McCarthy has designed the artificial intelligence using Lisp processing. Okay, these are the different programming languages available to support in designing the AI application. Okay, which one of this is best suited for AI project depends on what project is about, and as well as the developer background and the level of comfort within the different AI programming languages. Now again, a question for you people. You have already listened a session for more than 1 hour, and Dr. Haribabu sir has said so many examples of AI which are there in our day-to-day life. Can you post some of them here? Just again go to the same Slido. You have to enter the code 2660223 and post some of the AI examples in our day-to-day life. Let me see how many of them are posting. Just post some of the examples of AI in our day-to-day life. Yes, Google Assistant, Alexa, very good. Airline ticket booking, smart fridge, very good. Somebody has posted the code itself. Self-driven cars, Tesla, very good. Any other applications? Inner Eye, okay. Microsoft. Chatbot, very good, chatbot. So these are all some of the examples of AI which we are using in our day-to-day life, right? Yes, there is a relation between this question and what we are going to see next. Okay, so what is the session is all about? AI in healthcare, right? So how these applications, what are the examples which you have listed, like chatbot, how these applications are involved in AI in healthcare? What is AI in healthcare? AI has been around for decades in the healthcare industry. However, recently medical imaging has expanded the frontiers of AI into areas previously which are unimaginable. Let us see some algorithms, AI algorithms that can benefit doctors, patients, researchers through making diagnosis, treatments, discoveries, and the practice of medicine faster, more accurate, and more efficient. A field that has attracted attention for the application of AI in healthcare is medical imaging. Medical imaging. What is that medical imaging? Whenever we feel we are not well, we'll go to doctor and he'll be suggesting some scan, test, and everything. Each and every test gives a different form of a data. Whereas blood text is text form of data, you're getting it. From that you have to analyze. Whereas from scan, like there will be an MRI scan or CT scan or PET scan. So the different forms of data are available. From those images, we have the practitioners, the doctors need to analyze and suggest and identify the diagnosis, medical diagnosis. Let's walk through this example of an AI tool for disease diagnosis using X-rays, and then identifying mammograms, identifying brain tumors, which are the most common medical imaging in the world and critical for the diagnosis. And the interpretation of these images, no, it is time consuming, and there is a shortage of trained radiologists around the globe. Researchers at Stanford Academic Medical Center recently developed a deep learning algorithm to aid in the interpretation of chest x-rays. Okay, chest x-rays. It can detect 14 different pathologies for 10 diseases. Regarding the efficiency, radiologists were able to label 420 images in 240 minutes on an average, and the same was the algorithm labeled them in 1.5 minutes. This shows the efficiency. This also shows the power of AI solutions in the medical imaging field, and few highlights how AI solutions can reduce errors to human fatigue and improve diagnostics. Then the other area which is more expanding now is drug discovery. Researchers from the University of Toronto have developed AI models specifically support vector machine classifiers using various data sets to classify proteins into drug and non-drug targets for different cancer sites. This study identified 53 novel cancer targets across multiple cancer sites and hundreds of sites specific gene targets. This exhibits how AI is being used for drug discovery for cancer treatment. And then the other one is disease diagnostics. Using machine learning techniques, different machine learning algorithms were developed to diagnose diseases such as, for example, autism, like based on the behavioral features such as high contact, social smile, etc. From those features, like the disease can be diagnosed. The models performed with greater than 94% accuracy. This highlights the potential to use AI for diagnostic purposes, and again exhibits the accuracy and efficiency of AI solutions. These are a glimpse of the broad range of AI applications we see emerging in medicine and the opportunities to improve the diagnostics. Now let us see some few noteworthy applications of AI in healthcare. Chatbots, robotic surgery, virtual nursing assistants, precision medicine, administrative workflow assistants. So chatbots, you've already posted in the chatbot. What is a chatbot? So it is the one which offer immediate conversational responses, and connecting becomes quite simple for patients in healthcare. So it has the power to increase the primary care and triage via chatbots. So when executed effectively, chatbots can even aid healthcare providers to exceed patients' expectations while improving patient outcomes. Digital human platforms equipped with integrations into IBM, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, which enable healthcare providers to create and deploy digital human employees with much ease. The robotic surgeries, you have heard about robotic surgery, and you have also been seen in some movies. AI technology has brought a revolution in the field of surgery. The result of a surgery, especially a new or complex process, can change with surgeon's skills. AI utilization can minimize case-to-case variations, improving the efficiency of even the most skilled surgeons at the same time. Besides, AI machines can employ data from the past operations to devise new surgical methods. The next one is virtual nursing assistants. AI systems alleviate virtual nursing assistants available 24/7. They can monitor patients, answer the questions, and hence offer quick answers in real time. Today, most of the applications of virtual monitoring assistants enable regular and consistent communication between healthcare providers and patients. AI-powered virtual assistants provide personalized experiences to patients, helping them detect their illness based on the symptoms, besides scheduling doctor appointments and monitoring their health status. Care Angel is the first virtual nursing assistant globally and it can provide wellness checks through AI and voice. Three kinds of input responses for three kinds of inputs like text, chat, and in the form of voice. The next one is administrative workflow assistance. Automation of administrative workflow guarantees that care providers prioritize urgent tasks, aiding doctors, assistants, and nurses save time on their routine jobs. Applications of AI in healthcare could lead to about $18 billion savings for the healthcare industry. Technology like voice-to-text transcriptions offers help on the administrative end of the healthcare. They help automate non-patient care activities. Like IBM Watson, it mines big data and assists physicians offer a highly personalized and efficient treatment experience to their patients. Now, just again go to Slido and then post what are the skills required for an engineer to imbibe in the age of AI and data era. It is an AI and data era, right? So what is the skills required for an engineer to imbibe in the age of AI and data era? Like what are the requirements? Problem solving, coding, okay. Then what are the other skills required to develop an AI application? Domain knowledge, very good. Domain knowledge, okay. Programming language like Python, the database, NLP, natural language processing, very good. Machine learning, and you have to learn about the concepts of machine learning, supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement, all those learning algorithms. Okay. Okay, very good. So what are all required? Basic programming and knowledge of computer science, understanding data and domain knowledge, knowledge of statistics, ability to think beyond technology, and keeping pace with AI and ML developments. These are all the skills required for every engineer to imbibe in the world of AI and data era. So what are in order to see to summarize or to see to it? So what is AI in healthcare? Like you have to focus like what actually AI does in healthcare. From the data, it diagnoses, so the early diagnosis, or it actually correctly classifies, or it correctly identifies the disease, right? So like before that, the preventive healthcare can also be there, AI preventive healthcare. So the preventive healthcare, AI has a major impact or role in the preventive healthcare. And for example, AI may identify currently the people may be very healthy and who are likely to develop cancer within some years based on the information hidden in the data they collect during the regular clinical process. AI can also predict patients in memory care clinics which are likely to develop dementia within 2 years, something like that they can do. We can predict, early prediction can be done. So we can also predict, AI can also predict early detection of diabetes by identifying the hidden patterns of correlation in large patient data sets. So AI may assist in predicting acute kidney injury. So AI does many things, what not? Okay, it does many things. One challenge of AI or one challenge of using artificial intelligence in healthcare is that it requires to access large amounts of data in order to be effective. So it requires large amount of data to be in order to be our algorithm to be effective. And also there is a risk of bias in the data used to train the algorithms is not representative of the population as a whole. So these are some of the challenges, and AI engineers are responsible for developing new applications and systems that utilize AI to improve performance and efficiency, make better decisions, and reduce cost. There is one link which I have given here, healthdata.gov. Students, this might be useful for you. This is a site which is solely or dedicatedly containing large volume of health data, more accessible to entrepreneurs, researchers, and policy makers in the hope of better outcome. You can make use of this data. You can get data set from there for your AI application. And also one more thing for students, suppose if you have not developed any AI application earlier, if you doesn't know where to start with, what and how an AI application will be, and if you want to experience all this, you can surf in the Google AI experiments with Google. You can surf in the Google. You will get AI experiment site where there are number of AI experiments are available for education purpose with code. What you can do is you can also experience. If you just click it, you can experience. You will be giving inputs for it, and you will see what kind of output it is generating to you, and you can learn what technology, what kind of AI is imbibed in that application. There are number of applications are there in that portal, and in particular there is one application called Look and Speak. There is one application for Look and Speak for with respect to the healthcare. You can try this today, and you can see, you can install that application and you can see that. So what does that Look and Speak application is? Like Look and Speak, that is for patients who cannot speak and who cannot move their who cannot give any actions, who cannot perform any actions in their body. Only through the eye movement the patient can speak. Okay, through the eye movement, like through the suppose there will be list of phrases available. If the user or if the patient moves the eye in the left side of phrases will be selected, and that will be divided into left and right. From then the patient will be seeing left or right based on the data which they are going to speak. Okay, that is there, you can experience it. That is a very good site which will be useful for the students, and you can make use of it. So as far as this is concerned, artificial intelligence plays a major role in achieving the 79% of the sustainable development goals listed. Okay, so is there any doubt? If there are any queries? And not only the students, even the faculty members can make use of the data sets available in Health Data, Kaggle, and more other data, more other sites for their research. You can also post in the chat if you want. You can also post in the chat. You can post your queries in the chat. Participants?
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
New technologies are transforming every aspects of our lives. Knowing about the new technologies or need of the hour. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your ideas among us. It's really an interactive session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Update your knowledge. Be in tune with the changing innovations of the world. Now it's time to clarify your doubts and to the chief guest and guest speakers. So we request the participants to raise their hands to clarify your doubts, and you can give your valuable feedback about this webinar. The participants are requested to clarify their doubts.
Someone has posted in the chat board that no queries, ma'am.
So I will start with Madam. Myself, Senthil Kumar, Secretary of Hello Local Center. So
Yes,
there
sir.
is a talk across social media saying that at one point of time in future, this AI will replace human intelligence. So it's a common question for both of you, so you can answer better.
No, always human expertise is required to develop an AI application. So it cannot 100% replace. It cannot. The AI cannot replace 100%.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I need to comment on that. Like there is one stat says that the youth aspiration towards technology is like it's create an opportunity. The youth is not fearing that AI will replace their jobs, because as ma'am said, all model which we are creating, that will be happen only through human intelligence. The mission AI mission will support the infrastructure.
Okay.
Even though it can learn on its own, but it will support only the infrastructure. That the basic infrastructure which we are going to create is on man. So there is no point that we should get fear of technology.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So participants, any other questions? Please free to ask. So we have got two
Can
experts.
learn easily for first stage of learning student in AI. No, there are a lot of portals available for learning AI. Before that, you should learn what is data, and even in NASCOM, in Future Skills Prime and other NASCOM courses are available for free for students to learn on new trends, new and future trends. I think you can make use of the online portals available. You can also make a note of it, NASCOM Future Skills Prime. N number of courses are available for free to learn. And with experiments like exercises. What is the other question? How can learn? Is there enough privacy when there is a large influence of AI in future? Yes. We have security features. Everything is, the data is very safe in healthcare.
Blockchain is evolving, so all our data will be highly secure. So the security features, we no need to worry. And regarding learning process of AI, what I suggest is you can participate in any hackathons that is towards developing a product, which will give you a very good insight and give you a very confident to develop a product in any AI-based product. And learning also, you can start working in GitHub. Create a own account in GitHub, post your codes over there, and take up some challenges which is already posted in GitHub. So this will shape you a good domain knowledge in artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir, rightly said. Like participating in events like hackathon will develop your learning skills and you'll have a confidence.
Attention everybody, we request the participants to fill the feedback form which has been given in the chat box. I repeat, the feedback link has been given in the chat box. We request all the participants to fill the feedback to receive your certificate. New pathways of opportunity have opened under AI. Digital solutions can transforming lives and can turbocharge our work to achieve the sustainable development goals. Now it's right time to thank everyone who have attended this online seminar. In this regard, I request Engineer N. Sendil Kumar Sir, MIE Honorary Secretary, IEI Salem Local Center, Salem, to propose vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So at the outset, I thank Dr. Haribabu for giving a wonderful lecture on AI entrepreneurship. So hope all the participants will be able to understand the AI application across different startups and companies in day-to-day life. So it was an excellent session, sir. Thank you for joining with us today. And we thank Dr. Kalevani, Madam, from Wales Institute of Science and Technology, for delivering a wonderful lecture on artificial intelligence healthcare. So we should able to understand what are the different AI applications, mainly this medical imaging, how the AI works in supporting the doctors in the diagnostic part. So it was an excellent session. Thank you, ma'am, for joining with us today. And I thank the coordinators. Thank you, madam. So I thank the coordinators for circulating this message across all the colleges and across the engineering fraternity. I thank all the participants, mainly the students, both UG students and PG students, for participating in this session today. So it was an excellent session as part of this IEI TNSC Techno Carnival. And we have 2 more sessions planned scheduled tomorrow at the same time from 11 to 12:30. I request all the participants to join with us tomorrow also. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you one and all who graced this online webinar by your active participation.